We're joined today by Brian Cernoch from men's tennis, and he made me feel good about myself from the moment we saw him.
That's hard to do sometimes.
Especially when you're sitting next to Brian Cernoch, because he said these shoes are his favorite shoes.
That's right.
He's got on the Deer Deans, I've got on the Deer Deans, Jones
I do not.
does not. Brian, why are the Deer Deans your favorite shoes?
I don't know, just kind of brings in UNC, like Dean Smith, iconic coach here at UNC. They're Jordan, obviously the best player of all time, in my opinion. So just kind of ties in UNC, and I love the Carolina blue. So just they're comfortable too. I don't know.
That's it. That's the interview, guys. Thanks so much for being here. No, Brian, great to see you. Really good start for men's tennis, particularly a really difficult non-conference schedule to get things started. Now getting into conference play. 10-4 overall, 3-0 in the league right this moment as we're talking. Take us through your thoughts on the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, the season's been really good so far. Obviously, we started off the ACC schedule pretty well. National indoors, I think, was a little tough. We went 1-2 there, but there was a lot of positives. We were in the position to beat Southern Cal, had a good win at Florida, and then another heartbreaker to South Carolina, who we played a couple weeks before that and lost 4-3 as well. So a lot of positives. We also played TCU earlier in the season, really close, and they ended up winning national indoors. So I think that's like really good for the team going forward, just knowing that we can compete with those #1 or top 5 teams in the country.
You're coming off a trip this past weekend that I think some of the parts of that trip don't show up when you just sort of look at the numbers. You go to Notre Dame, it's freezing cold, you play inside, then you hop on a bus and drive to Louisville where it's very nice and you play outside. What are some of the challenges in just changing the way the game is being played in a span of 36 hours?
Yeah, so we actually kind of prepped for that the week before. We played Boston College at home. We were looking at the weather ahead, and we saw that we're most likely going to play Notre Dame indoors and then Louisville outdoors. So we tried to get at least a little bit of outdoor tennis before we went. We pushed our match back at Boston College here to get some outdoor tennis, and then going into Notre Dame, we got a couple days of indoor practice here. They have really fast courts, so we were fortunate enough to play at Chapel Hill Tennis Club. Match there was a little chippy, but it was good. And then we took the bus, got in at around midnight to Louisville, and got an hour and a half practice in on Saturday. It was nice and sunny there, and had the match on Sunday.
I understand, obviously, the sun and the wind, but what are the big differences when you're playing indoor versus outdoor? Like, what is something that you know is different that someone who isn't competing at a high level probably doesn't?
Yeah, usually the courts are a little slower outdoors. The ball may bounce a little higher. The courts are usually a little grittier, so the ball grips a little more. Obviously, the sun and the wind's a factor, as you mentioned. But also, like, just managing your emotions, just like as like the wind is a factor, right? Like the ball can bounce funny on an outdoor court, and not getting frustrated and kind of just sticking to your game plan and playing each point with a purpose.
Speaking of facilities, within this month, we think, sounds like the target date may be March 31st. You'll be playing in a brand newly renovated Cone-Kenfield Tennis Center. Apparently going to be an incredibly nice facility. What difference does that make to you as a player? And then what difference are we going to notice when we go watch the Tar Heels?
I'm super excited. Since they broke ground in March, I've been walking out there after hours, like once a week probably, just looking at them move dirt or put up stands or bricks or whatever it is. So it looks great. I'm super excited. Can't thank the Rams Club and all the donors enough for contributing to that and really making our dreams come true and playing in such a nice tennis center.
All right, so Brian's been an All-America both as a singles and a doubles performer. How do you change your mindset between the two? I mean, tennis to me is such an individual sport. How do you then change gears and successful in doubles as well?
Yeah, I mean, college tennis is very different than professional tennis with the no ad and the scoring and such, but doubles for me is super fun, but it's also probably more stressful than singles just because it's one set and there's no ad scoring. If you get broken, you're in a deep hole, you know, to try to come back and win, especially at the top level and in the ACC. It's really tough, but We get that 5-minute break in between singles and doubles to kind of get your mind right and get ready and kind of shift into that singles mode. So I kind of use that to visualize how I'm going to play in singles, and that's pretty much it.
Just 5 minutes. That's all it takes, Adam.
I was going to say, 5 minutes doesn't sound like a long time to me to completely change my mindset, or this probably never happens to you, but if I had just lost and played terrible, then I've got to go out and start completely fresh. How did you kind of teach yourself how to do that and make the most of those 5 minutes so that you don't just go in the tank if you lose in doubles?
Yeah, so when I was a freshman, like if we were to lose a doubles point, I'd be freaking out, like, oh my God, like I have to win, like everybody's got to win, you know? And that's not necessarily true. Obviously you want to win the doubles point, especially against the top teams. You only then have to win 3 out of the 6 singles matches. But I mean, we have 6 guys on the team. We got 12 guys on the team that can all play ball and step up when they need to. So just having confidence in my team to get it done is really important as well, and not just kind of saying like, oh, like I have to win or else we're toast, you know, like making sure that I have a clear mind going into my match and knowing that I'm looking down the line at 5 other guys playing, that they can get the job done as well is very important.
All right, so Brian, super accomplished in the classroom as well. How are you able to manage? Well, I mean, I think it's hard enough just to be a terrific student or to be a terrific athlete. How do you manage both these things?
Yeah. I mean,
I just take 5 minutes, I chill out, and I get ready for class.
Yeah, 5 minutes is all I need. No, but coming into college here, obviously it's a prestigious university. The classroom's definitely not easy, and then the athletics part as well is not easy. But from high school, I was an online student. You know, I didn't study a whole lot, didn't really even know how to study, you know, coming into school. So that was definitely a huge transition. And then as the years went on, I kind of found a few things that helped me, you know, like getting a planner and writing down all my exam dates and assignments and homeworks and whatnot. And then practice times, like my day looks the same pretty much every day. I got morning individual sometimes, or a morning lift, and then team practice in the afternoon, and then I got my classes in between. So I kind of just find times where I can get like a 15-minute break or a 5-minute break, whatever that is, and kind of relax and kind of shift my mind from tennis to school, or other way around, yeah.
A lot of successful student athletes are going from online student in high school to then playing college and whatever they're playing. What were the biggest challenges in doing that, where you kind of made your own schedule in high school and did things as you wanted to here, we kind of expect you to be in class on these days at these times?
Yeah, in high school, if I was traveling, I would not touch a book for like 3 weeks sometimes, and then I would try to cram it all in the next week when I had some free time. Here, that is definitely not the case. I'm expected to show up to class every day, you know, and then same thing on the tennis court, like I'm there every day. So just talking with my coaches, if I'm a little stressed out, I have an exam the next day, I might just go in for an hour to hit, or a coach will give me the day off. That really helps a lot, just keeping like a fresh mind and knowing that our coaches like really care about our academics as well, and not just the tennis side.
All right, Brian, we got about a minute left. Hey, Sam Paul is, I think, a name that Carolina fans, oh yeah, he's the coach of the tennis program, but he has really made this a successful program. He's been here for decades now. What is it about Coach Paul that works here in your relationship with him from athlete to coach?
I love Coach. I mean, he's a character for sure. Great coach, great mentor to me and all the players, and I think he just really helps with keeping the guys relaxed and having kind of like a family environment. You know, he invites us over to his house, you know, on a Sunday morning to play ping pong. I don't know how many coaches really do that, but it's just like the little things like that mean a lot and kind of help us, you know, like stay relaxed and enjoy the team environment for sure.
Not a big surprise, another Tar Heel team that's competing at the highest level in the nation. Men's tennis ranked in the top 10 nationally, undefeated in ACC play so far. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.